I used to work as a night security guard at an old textile mill on the outskirts of Pune. People said the factory was cursed after a fire took several lives in the 1990s, but I never believed in ghosts until that one night. It was my third week on the job. Every night was the same. Clock in at 9, check the CCTV, patrol every 2 hours, and sign the register near the storage room. The place was huge. Silent corridors, flickering tube lights, and the constant hum of old machines. There were 2 of us, me and another guard named Suresh. He handled the front gate. I handled the factory floor. At around midnight, I went for my first round. Everything seemed fine until I noticed something on the CCTV later. A shadow moving in Section B, where no one was supposed to be. I thought it was a stray dog or a worker who forgot to log out. I grabbed my flashlight and went to check. The air in Section B was colder. My light flickered as I moved deeper between the old spinning machines. Then I heard it, a faint thump, thump, like someone tapping metal slowly. I called out, "Hello? Anyone there?" No answer. The sound stopped, and when I turned, I saw a man, pale, covered in soot, standing at the far end of the hall. His uniform was the old mill dress from before the fire. Before I could react, the emergency lights flickered, and he vanished. I rushed back to the control room. The CCTV feed for Section B was full of static. I switched to the previous recording and froze. There was no one there. But on the timestamp, right before the static hit, I saw something terrifying, my own silhouette standing beside the shadow. Even though I was alone, Suresh came in and asked what happened. I told him everything, but he laughed it off. He said the place plays tricks on new guards, and that the last guy who worked here quit after seeing something, too. That night, I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Around 2 a.m., I went for my second round. As I passed the old boiler room, I heard whispers, muffled, panicked voices. It sounded like people arguing or screaming. I peeked inside. Nothing. Just burnt walls and rusted pipes. But on the soot-covered wall, there were fresh handprints, still wet, as if made seconds ago. I felt dizzy. When I turned to leave, someone whispered my name, clearly, right behind my ear. I ran back to the office. Suresh wasn't there. His chair was spinning, the door wide open. I followed his flashlight trail toward the gate and found him lying unconscious near the warehouse. He said he saw someone walking toward him, someone who looked exactly like me, but didn't respond when he called my name. Then it disappeared. That's when we both decided to end our shift early. But before we could leave, all the lights went out. In that darkness, we heard the fire alarm from the old control room, the one that had been disconnected years ago. We ran toward the alarm, but what we saw wasn't fire. It was smoke, rising from nowhere. Through it, figures appeared, burned workers, screaming for help. One reached out to me, her eyes hollow, her mouth opening to whisper. "Still trapped. Turn it off." Then the smoke vanished. The alarm stopped. Everything went silent. The clock read 3:17 a.m. We left the factory before sunrise and never returned. The next day, the supervisor called me. He said something strange, that the CCTV caught us leaving at 3:17, but the time logs showed we left at 2:06, 1 whole hour missing. He also said something else. They reviewed the footage of Section B again and saw 3 people on the screen that night. Me, Suresh, and a third man standing behind us, wearing the same old mill uniform, covered in soot. Sound fades into slow, industrial humming, with faint whispers in the background. The factory shut down permanently a week later. I've worked many jobs since, but I've never done another night shift again. because somewhere in that